Hello, it is Queen Bree Vixen, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about spiritual journeys and awakenings and all that other stuff. And it's coming from me as a spiritual leader, a psychic root worker, whatever you want to call me. What I'm mainly here for is I've gone through things to tell you what not to go through, or I just know how it is so I can relate. Now, it seems like right now, a lot of people that are empaths or that could be affected by this dark, dark world right now, we're being protected a lot more by not having as many people in our life. And sometimes that has to happen in order for us to literally save ourselves. Because if we're out there in the world, people intentionally and unintentionally take our light. Our light is what keeps us alive. That's why there's people that want it, so they can stay alive. They need that power. But um, God's rejection is God's protection in certain ways like this, where you should not have to worry about anybody else but yourself right now because there's going to be so much that you're going through when it comes to growth of yourself and seeing things for how they are. One thing you're going to have to learn is to detach. You're going to have to learn to detach from the old you to find out who the new you is, because the old you is only blocking blessings. It's only holding people in your life that are not supposed to be there. Um, it's holding you back from you moving on in life. So when you actually go on a spiritual journey or you're on a spiritual awakening and you start feeling crazy, like you don't know what's going on because you see things differently than you feel them and all of that, it's because what's happening is you're being woke. You're getting on another level of a higher consciousness of knowing what's out there in the world. And a lot of times when you're going through that, you will be alone. And if you're not alone because God made it that way, then you need to filter out the people on your own and know that the only way for you to get better in life is for you to focus on yourself and not have any other people in your life that can distract you from that. And if people don't understand that there's times where you would might need to take a hiatus or something to get your life back together when it comes to your spirituality and just putting the puzzle pieces back together, because of when we live in a spiritual world and the physical world, sometimes it can just get very convoluted, and sometimes we need time to ourselves to just structure all of that out. It's a lot different living a life of living in the 5D and the 3D, which is feeling things and seeing things. It's a lot harder because there's a part of us that we can't explain because it's something you can't see, but it's something we go through. So that's another reason why there will be people that leave your life, because they aren't going to understand the higher level consciousness that you have become. And on top of that, your standards will be higher. Therefore, you will see the people that are in your life. You low key deserve a better caliber of people in your life because they are, you've noticed that you had to dim your light in order for their light to shine. So basically, like if you are around an energy vampire, somebody that just constantly will tell you all their bullshit and you're just sitting there taking it because you're a listener. But then afterwards, you feel all drained. And they're like, oh, it was so great talking to you. Thank you. Yeah, that's because they took your light. Yeah, they took your light. And that happens a lot. And it's not like people do it on purpose, but it happens. And that's something that you need to protect yourself from. You want to take yourself out of situations that lower your vibration because that's not you. You are not the person that needs to lower your vibration. These people need to raise their vibration. And if they don't want to, then that means that they needs to go because they're not wanting you to live in life. As in an example of what just happened with a distraction, okay? There's people in life that will end up distracting you, taking you off guard, taking you off track, and sometimes off after they take you off track, sometimes on accident. But that holds you back, and it makes it slower for you to get back on track, and then you have to go forward from there. So it's kind of like if you don't have those distractions in your life, then you don't have to worry about getting back on track. The only tracks that you would have to worry about getting on are the ones where you have learned life lessons from your own life journey. Okay. So when it comes to spiritual awakenings, yes, you will be alone. Should you be alone? Yes. If I'm your spiritual leader and I see in a reading or something that there's somebody or something that is in your life that might not serve you well, I'm going to tell you. Am I going to say break up with them or die? No, I'm not. I lead you to the water. If you're thirsty enough, you'll drink it, if or when. And there's no need for me to judge anyone. I have no place for that. So I literally am very, very picky with who's in my life because I have to live. And the more light that I have, the more easier it is to live my hard ass life, right? So don't make your life harder by having other people take your light, especially when you're going through a spiritual journey. Well, more of a spiritual awakening. Because when you're awakening, it's kind of like opening your eyes and really seeing things for what they are. And it's taking action to make more of a journey for you to be able to have the strength and the weapons for you to get through the trials and tribulations of the spiritual journey you're going to have. When you're a spiritual person like me, as in an empath, light worker, whatever you want to call yourself, it goes like this: spiritual awakening, spiritual journey, and then maybe a little break, and then there's going to be the dark night of the soul, and then there's a spiritual awakening, spiritual journey, then a break. That's how our life is, okay? Because there's levels to this shit. And when it comes to spiritual rankings and all of that, there's levels. The longer you live, the more you're into spirituality, the deeper it gets for you. But one thing that everyone needs is a spiritual side and physical side to be whole in order for them to be a wholesome person, including meditation. So sometimes, even if you aren't gifted and you have this life that is hard to live as a spiritual person, it's not more of a spiritualist, it's a lifestyle. It's a person, it's a purpose, it's a mission. We're here for people, we're leaders. Like there's a whole bunch of yelling and stuff outside. To me, that's just a whole bunch of people trying to have distractions around me. But that just is showing you got to look at the signs, as in there must be a lot of people that I'm talking to. You guys must have a lot of distractions of people around you, a lot of bad energy, and you don't understand. Bad energy doesn't make somebody a bad person. A good person can have a drug addiction, and that drug addiction is what makes them have bad energy. Or somebody could be hanging around somebody that gossips all the time. And when they gossip, you are going to linger in that energy and carry that energy on you. Somebody doesn't need to be around that if they don't want to. And if somebody tells you that your energy is like that, then don't fight that. Change it. So that doesn't mean you're a bad person. That just means your aura is bad, which makes people want to like back away from you. That's a part of spiritual awakenings. You get to see and feel yourself more and see you waking up. It's like looking at the sun and then closing your eyes, you still feel the light of the sun. And then once it goes dark, you'd be like, wait, hold on, I need the light again. You won't ever unawaken once you're awakened, right? So just keep moving forward. And sometimes we don't know what we're doing in life. We just know we have to do what we're doing. That's literally called our path. You're literally doing your purpose. You're literally doing your path. And whatever comes with that path comes with the territory, right? But if you keep focused on yourself and know that the things that are coming to you are going to be an addition to your life, then you'll be golden. It'll be a hard life sometimes, but you'll see the purpose in it and you'll understand it more. So just keep going, guys. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of us that are kind of struggling with the physical world and the spiritual world right now, and we're kind of over it, right? Just hang in there, okay? This is just a part of our life and it's going to go away. And then there's going to be something else. So, I'm here for you guys. I go live on YouTube a lot more than TikTok now. I always do personals. You can go to my website if you like to. And yeah, I'll just talk to you guys another time. So have a good night, good day, or good morning whenever you hear this. I'll talk to you later.